Hello, my loves. Today we'll be talking about intuition. I'll save you the trauma dump. But when I was 16, it only took a near-death experience, a slap in the face from life, like a really bad one. It was more like a punch rather than a slap. And it took that horrible experience for me to finally listen to my intuition. I had spent my entire teenage years ignoring the truth, ignoring my deeper self. I was hanging out with the wrong kind of people. I was in an abusive relationship. I was making choices that were really not contributing to my well-being. And during this near-death experience, I finally was able to hear that little voice deep inside telling me that I needed to change. So the next day, I decided to change my whole life. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew deep down that I was taking the steps to a better, healthier me. And even when I look back on that time, I didn't even know I was doing that, right? I was just following this inner knowing. That's the thing about intuition, is you don't have to intellectualize it. You don't have to think about it. You have to feel it. Intuition is a gut feeling. It's an instinct. And ultimately, it's trying to protect us. It's guiding us towards wise choices that fit who we are and who we're supposed to be in this universe. We may have ideas and thoughts about who we're supposed to be because of society. For example, some people grow up and their parents want them to be a doctor and they believe them to be a doctor, but deep down inside, they know they want to be a professional surfer or whatever it might be. They know they're an artist. They want to follow their dream of being a professional photographer, but they ignore that deeper truth because somebody else puts expectations on them. And this is where it can be kind of tricky sometimes to follow your intuition, because only you are going to know what's best for you, and only you can trust that. So sometimes people might try to talk you out of it because they don't know what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you. This is where it's so important to have a relationship or a practice where you can deepen this trust with your inner knowing. Intuition actually isn't some abstract thing. It literally physically lives deep in your belly. So when we do practices like deep breathing or Qigong, for example, we're creating a sensitivity to our deeper selves, honoring and nurturing this part of ourselves that lives deep in the belly. Intuition is like a muscle. We can build it with trust and practice. When we ignore our intuition, things like anger and resentment can start to build up. When we ignore our intuition that lives deep in the belly, even if we don't realize it, we know that we're betraying ourselves. And this betrayal can create energetic blockages, specifically in the chest and around the heart. And if we're blocked here in the chest and the heart, how is the belly, the deeper self, going to express itself with this big weight or brick blocking our truth? This is another great reason why it's so important to honor your true self, so you could just avoid having to deal with unnecessary energetic blockages. It's just a waste of energy, waste of time. You could be doing better things like living your best, most authentic life, even though it could be scary. Trust me, I know it's scary. It's scary to become who you're supposed to be. But we'll talk about that in a different video. So our practice, like Qigong, where I have many videos on this channel that hopefully you can use as a resource and connect with this amazing practice. Qigong helps us recognize and respect our energy. Not only are we respecting and understanding our energy, but we're also able to honor our limits. We have a relationship with understanding what our limits are. Therefore, we force things a lot less, not just literally in your body, but in your day-to-day as well. For example, a relationship, like if I'm speaking from my experience, if somebody's treating you badly, instead of forcing them to like you or whatever it is, you could just let it go. Not meant for me.
Bye.
I don't deserve that. We all have moments of betraying ourselves. And as we're building this relationship with trusting our intuition, trusting our instincts, we might think of other times where we didn't do that, even though we knew better. And it's so important to have compassion for the past versions of yourself. The past version of yourself did the best that they could with the tools that they had. So send yourself love, even if you didn't like yourself very much back then. Honor who you were because it got you to who you are today. Intuition is a deeper knowing that can be strengthened with practice. Ignoring what is true for you can lead to emotional challenges. But if we can learn to trust our intuition, we can also learn to forgive ourselves. Practices like deep breathing and Qigong can strengthen this relationship with your intuition and your deeper self. One of the most powerful things you can do for not only you, but those around you is to be your truest, most authentic self. Trust your inner knowing. It's your greatest guide. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know your experience with your intuition. I would love to hear it.